NTVC News correspondent Femi Akande is joining me live from Ilaje, Ondo State, covering this for us. Femi, thank God you had a safe landing, but then what more do we know about this election process?
Yes, it's been a slow start to the voting process here in Ugbo community in Ilaje local government. The voting materials arrived at about 8:30 a.m. and that is when INEC says voting is supposed to commence, but that is when we noticed that voting materials just arrived here. It took a while before the electoral officers set up the whole voting area or gave out the whole voting materials, and of course in line with the COVID-19 safety protocols, ensured that the whole area was well safe. People maintained social distance, and hand sanitizers were provided, and they also sensitized the electorate on the use of face masks before they can be allowed close to the voting area. But as I speak to you, Ibrahim, voting has started. Though it started late, but surely it must go on. We don't know if at 2:30 p.m. voting will close, because according to INEC, that is when voting is supposed to close. But we do not know if there might be exception. There might be an exception to that rule, because voting started late in this area. And for so many people in this Ugbo community here to cast their vote, a lot of them live outside of this community. They have to board boats, speed boats, to transport them here to cast their vote. It's been a challenging process for them, because a lot of the speed boats are not allowed to ply the waterways, because security agencies are restricting movement on the waterway, and that is in compliance with restrictions on election day. But for us and some other accredited media organizations, election observers, they are allowed to move to come cast their vote. You know, even here on the waterway, security has been very tight. We have seen Navy gunboats strategically positioned at places, at some places on the water, just to ensure that the whole place is secure and the atmosphere is conducive enough for the conduct of a credible election here in Ugbo community. Ibrahim.
Yeah, in the build-up to the commencement of today's election, a lot of people must have been waiting anxiously, expecting what's to come. Have they been calm enough, and are they still calm as the election process continues?
Well, for now, people are still calm, but I must tell you that Ilaje community and Ondo community in Ondo, Ilaje local government and Ondo local government, I beg your pardon, in Ondo South Senatorial District they are also part of the areas identified as hotbeds of violence in the conduct of the election. But for now, we have not seen any incident that would mar the electoral process, even though we have seen light quarrels, fracas here and there. But that is expected during voting, when tempers are frayed. But the security agencies have been able to calm things, and people have behaved themselves very well for so far. But we have not seen any major incident that would dent the credibility of this process.
Femi, you apply the waters when you go into this place of assignment, and then we read a little earlier that boats transporting INEC ad hoc staff, election materials, and so on, capsized. When exactly did it happen? What information do you have?
Yes, it happened last night at about 7 p.m., between 7 p.m. and 8 p.m., when they were trying to move election materials to this community for votes to commence on time. And that is one of the reasons why voting started late in this area, where we understand that on their way here, they had an incident when they were on the sea, and the boat capsized, and thankfully no life was lost. And we also hear that they were able to recover the voting materials, the ballot papers, the card readers, and all of that, and that none of that was damaged as a result of that incident. But a lot of people were concerned about it. From yesterday till today, people were talking about it with fears that this might this might hamper the whole electoral process. But you know, a lot of them are glad today that it appears as if that incident was just was really minor, not enough to hamper the whole electoral process. It's been a smooth sail for them so far, as to when voting started until now.
Well, this it appears that the location you are is a little bit disconnected from the metropolis. But then, are election observers and security officials able to gain access to this particular location where you are at?
Yes, well, we have seen our security agencies, they have a task to carry out. We have the electoral officers, of course, must ensure that they get to this place. We have not seen much of election observers around here because of the access to this area. Not many of them may be willing to embark on this venture of, well, not many of them are willing to venture to come into this area, especially coming on the sea using the speedboat to this place. And again, if you look at this community, it appears to be cut off from the entire area. There is little or no government presence in this community, no electricity, and a lot of basic social amenities here are lacking. And this might be one reason that would have discouraged some observers, especially foreign election observers, from coming to this area. I know in interacting with the people, when as soon as they saw the TVC news crew on ground, a lot of them were telling us to please call government's attention to their plight. If you look at this community, a lot of the economy of this area is centered around the sea here. Some people operating the speedboat, some of them are fishermen, and some of them just do one thing or the other just to make ends meet. The unemployment rate also around here is also quite high from our interactions with them. And a lot of them are asking government now that election voting materials were able to get here, security agencies were able to get here. They also hope that the basic social amenities will also be able to get here. Things like electricity, schools, primary healthcare facilities, good hospitals would also find its way here, probably in due time.